So friends, the key point I want to teach you in this video is about doji candles and candles that have very weak bodies with long shadows like this candle we see here. This is a type of doji candle. The tip of this candle's shadow can serve as a strong support or resistance line. Here, it's acting as a resistance line. As you can see, the green candle has reacted to it once, and it's reacting to it again for the second time. If it breaks through this line and moves upwards, we can expect the trend to turn bullish. However, if this candle had moved down, formed a shadow, and closed below this line, we would have expected a trend reversal. So this is another point for us to consider, and another type of candle where we can use its shadow as a support or resistance level. Here we can see that the breakthrough has occurred and the trend has moved upwards. If this candle had closed below this line, I could have entered a sell trade, but it broke through, and as you can see, the following candle is also closing green. I will continue analyzing different scenarios on the chart, and if I encounter a similar pattern, I'll make a trade and share the recording with you. Pay attention to this chart, guys. The tip of the wicks of these weak-bodied candles can serve as a potential support or resistance point. As you can see, this candle is showing a reaction at this level. I see that my price bar has reached this point and is below these levels, meaning the candle is closing below them. Notice that I'm not using any tools or drawing any lines. The price bar itself is indicating this level. If it breaks through these long wicks, then it counts as a breakout. Otherwise, if this doesn't happen, I'll open a sell trade. You can see here that this candle closed below, unable to break through, despite an attempt where the wick pushed upward before rejecting and closing lower. This indicates selling pressure that caused the candle to close below this level. So I opened a sell trade here and we'll wait together to see how this trade turns out. Alright dear friends, as we saw, despite the fact that the candle spent most of its time being green and seemed like it would close above this line, it turned bearish in the last few seconds, closed below the line, and ended up as a red candle, which allowed us to make a profit. Now take a look here. We have another doji candle with a long wick, and the tip of this wick can be considered a resistance level. The red candle after it couldn't break through and ended up with a wick indicating a rejection and then pulling back. Now let's see how this green candle closes. It tried to break through once but couldn't, and it has now come back to this resistance line again. If it breaks this line and closes above, then there's nothing to do. But if it closes below this line, which just happened now, we should open a sell trade. I got a bit distracted while explaining and opened the trade a little late, but ideally I should have opened the trade right when this red candle started forming. We expect this red candle to form and the trade to close successfully. Let's wait for the remaining 30 seconds of this trade to finish and see the outcome together. Alright, as you can see friends, even though I opened my trade a bit late and didn't enter exactly at the beginning of this red candle, it was more towards the middle, it still closed with a profit. Ideally, I should have entered the trade right at the start of the red candle, but even though it was a bit late, it still closed in profit. So these doji candles and those candles with long wicks, even if they have a bit of a body, that's fine, can act as strong support or resistance levels, and we can leverage these levels for our trades. These are the kind of insights that you can easily spot visually on the chart without even needing to draw support or resistance lines. We can see the price bar right here, and when these green candles form, notice that when I hover my mouse here, a line is shown. When the candle forms, we can see the price bar, and we can also see how much time is left for it to close. I noticed the green candle forming and saw that the price bar was under the long wick of our doji candle, and as soon as it closed, I immediately entered a sell trade. Even though it was a strong green candle with a powerful body and the trend was somewhat bullish, indicating a potential continuation of the uptrend, it still closed successfully in our favor as a red candle. This tells us that these points can serve as strong resistance levels that we can trust for our trades. Alright friends, I've just opened a sell trade here, and let me explain why. As I mentioned before, doji candles or candles with a very weak body and a long wick can serve as support or resistance levels. Now, if we look at this powerful green candle that moved upwards, it has a strong body with not much of a long wick, but where did it close? Look closely. It closed exactly at this point. If we consider the top of this doji's wick as a resistance level, or even the wick of this other candle, basically, we can draw two lines here and consider both as a resistance zone. We can see that our candle approached this zone, made contact, but couldn't break through. So we expect a price drop even if it's just for a single candle after this rejection. Now it's possible that the next candle might turn green again, move up, and retest this resistance zone. It's also possible that it could break through this level, but for now we saw that it touched this zone, formed a small rejection wick, and we anticipated that the following candle would be a red one. I quickly took a trade, and I was able to profit from this move. As soon as I opened the chart and noticed this setup, I didn't want to miss the opportunity, so I entered the trade first and then provided the explanations on the chart for you. As I mentioned earlier, the following candle turned green, a very strong candle that broke through our resistance level and even closed above it. This means that we now have to consider this new level as the basis for further analysis. If it can continue to break through, which it did, we expect the uptrend to continue. Alright friends, pay close attention to this part. I just opened this chart and unfortunately didn't get here in time to take a trade, but let me explain it anyway because it's still worth looking at. Here we can see a doji candle, one of the types of doji with a long wick. As I've mentioned before, the top of this wick can serve as a strong support or resistance level for us. Now look at what happened next. A candle came up, its wick touched this level, then it turned back down and closed red. Then, over the next two candles, the same thing happened again. We see two more reactions near this zone, with a strong candle eventually breaking through it. Now on the way back, we can see that this green hammer-like candle came back down, touched the same level again, essentially forming a pullback, and then got rejected, closing as a green hammer. If I had arrived earlier and seen this chart, I would have taken a trade right at the start of this candle, and as we can see, it would have resulted in a profitable trade as it moved upwards. Alright, here we can see that our doji has reached the same level again. I'm opening a trade right here immediately. If I'm not mistaken, I had traded at this level before as well. We can see the price dropped once, then it went up again, reaching the same level and reacting once more, and now we can see that the price is dropping again. This means our resistance level is extremely strong and effective, and we can capitalize on the reactions that form on the chart to easily make profitable trades. Alright, this trade was successful and closed with a profit. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, friends. This was another method of quick analysis on the chart without using any tools or indicators. As you saw, I made a few successful trades and showed you a few past market scenarios where these setups had occurred. These are tips that, with a bit of experience and a good understanding of the market, you can easily trade on. Don't miss out on these opportunities, guys. Trading without indicators isn't far-fetched or extraordinary. It's a bit risky, but if you are well versed in price action techniques and understand candle psychology, you can easily spot the right opportunities with a simple glance. As you saw, the moment I opened the chart, I noticed a good setup and immediately took the trade. I didn't need to draw any support or resistance lines or do anything special. Being able to quickly identify these points of entry and making the most of them is key. If you have any questions, feel free to write them for me in the comments section. To easily and freely register with the Quotex broker, click on the link in the video description. Dear friends, to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, please subscribe to the BS Academy channel. Also, activate the notification bell so that you are informed as soon as we publish new videos. Thank you for your support.